Can you beat Celeste with Hiccups? Because if you didn't know, once completing the base game, you unlock this tab called Variants, which allows you to add random effects such as infinite dashes, invincibility, or in this case, hiccups, which causes Madeline to hiccup randomly every few seconds, giving you a little mini half jump. So I had the thought, if I took away the ability to jump and dash, but instead could only get off the ground using hiccups, would I still be able to beat the game? And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how this video was born. So without any further ado, it's time for Celeste Hiccups Edition. Starting off, we find ourselves in the tutorial with no real problems, because we used momentum to get the distance needed to grab this ledge. But then I ran into this giant hole. So I then went to the settings to turn on hiccups so I could clear it easily, getting us to the old saggy granny.
That worked?
And after skipping her dialogue, I came across the first real problem, the tutorial bridge. Because you see, this bridge slowly collapses once you step onto it, meaning I can't stop moving right or else I'll fall.
Ah, gosh.
Which brings me to mechanical problem number 1. Hiccups happen at random. Meaning, Madeline has a random chance of hiccuping every 1 to 2 seconds, which means I can't predict them. Fortunately, this jump wasn't too bad. But next was this obstacle, where you need to jump far enough to trigger this bird to appear. And unfortunately, no matter what I tried, I just couldn't seem to get far enough right to trigger him. So I did some testing and found out that hiccuping just doesn't work. And it's not that I can't get far enough, because on this attempt, I jumped first and then hiccuped, which got me plenty of height and distance, yet it still didn't work. So with that, this is as good of a time as ever to say this challenge was never meant to be perfect. But who's to say what is and isn't allowed, because I simply just made this challenge to push the limits of not just the game, but my skill as well. So while I could do research to find the best possible way of doing this, that kind of takes the fun out of it and defeats the purpose in my opinion. So in this case, what I'm going to do from here on out is keep a counter of how many times I quote unquote cheat, which would be me jumping or dashing, of course. And if you ever want to know how many times I've cheated at any point, refer to the top left where I'll keep a counter for convenience. You're welcome. But with all of that out of the way, let's move on to Chapter 1, Forsaken City. Straight away, I could tell this wasn't going to be an easy challenge, with the first room requiring me to jump to make it across the gap.
Ah, frick.
Which made me feel a bit disappointed, to say the least, because I really did not want to cheat.
There we go.
But when I went into the next room, I saw this strawberry and an idea came to mind. I thought, if I can manage to get a strawberry in one of the main rooms that I'll pass through, I can take 1 point off the cheat counter, which made the challenge feel a bit more interesting. But unfortunately, the strawberry in this room was just out of reach, because the jump height that hiccups give are not full jumps. Regardless, this room was still pretty tricky, since timing the bounce pad with Madeline's hiccup is kind of just luck. But after some timing, I managed to get it down. Unfortunately, that wasn't all I had to deal with, because you see, getting up this wall without jumping or dashing was kind of awkward. But after a few attempts, I got it down.
Oh, yes. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, this is actually possible.
Now we are getting serious. And now is also a good time to pull another little trick out of my cheeks. That being infinite stamina. Yes, I know I am adding more and more crap as the video goes on, but doing this allowed me to climb this wall, hiccup to this ledge, and launch myself to this little platform over here. Without infinite stamina, I physically would not have been able to do this. Plus, infinite stamina is not jumping or dashing. But was turning on infinite stamina absolutely necessary? I don't think so. Because I could have just thugged it out and RNG'd the hiccup timings, but I was not trying to be in this room for the next 30 minutes. Of course, I needed to use a jump here though, since there was no other way of catching this ledge. Thankfully, there just so happened to be a strawberry in this room that was actually possible to get, so the cheat counter is back down to 2.
Yes! Cancel that sucker out!
But now is where the fun part of this challenge begins. Figuring out how to keep the cheat counter as low as possible. Because instead of doing this, which took 2 jumps, I figured out that I could make it even if I started from the floor, reducing the amount of jumps from 2 to 1.
Yes!
Figuring out this next room was super fun actually, because this first jump wasn't a problem at all, but making the second jump from the platform that slowly fades away was.
Oh my gosh, please. Yes! Yes! I can gain a jump back.
Unfortunately, even though this seemed like it would be a no jump room, her hiccups were just barely too weak to make this jump, so I'm back up to 3.
Are you joking? Madeline, sneeze harder. Oh, that sucks.
So you know how jumping on this moving platform would typically launch you up? Yeah, so hiccuping doesn't. So I had to use another jump here. Fortunately, with some incredibly skillful gameplay, I was able to do the rest of the level without using another jump.
Yes!
On the next room, I said this.
And I have to use another jump, but I think I can limit it to just 1.
That was easier said than done, to say the least, because I still had to figure out how to do it. And this is what I ended up doing.
Okay, Okay, I got it.
Now you might be thinking, why not just hang on this ledge, drop, then have your hiccup bounce you over? While in theory that should work, sadly I still would have had to use an extra jump right here. I totally knew this at the time, by the way. Now, don't think of this as me having to use 2 jumps, but rather me managing to only use 2 jumps. It'll make the experience much better, trust me. Now, this next room was a little tricky, since this first jump was barely doable even with perfect timing, plus if I died, I would have to do it again.
Oh my gosh! No, wait.
Not even joking, this first jump took forever, so you best believe I can't mess up this next timing.
Yes! Oh my gosh!
But once again, hiccups don't carry momentum like normal jumps do, so I needed one more jump to get past this room.
Okay, nice.
But finally, a room that looks possible to do without needing a single cheat.
Yes? Oh, let's go. Dude, it's so fun when I can do a whole level without jumping or anything.
Then you got this. I did, however, find out that jumping from this wall and landing on the ice block saves 1 jump, since doing it from here requires 2 jumps due to the fact that the hiccup doesn't get enough height. I still ended up using 2 jumps to finish off the room, but at least it's not 3.
That's another jump, bro.
Now prepare yourself, because this next room is insane. I would say the way that makes sense is to jump up here, then from this ice block, jump to this ledge. From there, jump right, but time the jump so that Madeline hiccups in time to make it to this platform. From there, use 1 last jump to make it to this wall, then beat the level. But no, 5 jumps just didn't sit right with me. So I decided to find another way and did this.
Oh my gosh! Did that do anything? No, wait. I was down there, right? Wait, what? Please. Oh! Oh my gosh! Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I didn't realize it at the time, but if I would have fallen here, I would have been stuck in this room, which would have required me to use another jump to get back up. But instead, I accidentally went back up right here and ended up dying. But doing so spawned me in this little room, allowing me to beat this room with only 2 jumps rather than 5. The next room, thankfully, was much more chill, requiring only 1 jump to beat it.
Oh, shoot. I didn't think about that. Okay, so I'm here. Okay, it was 1.
The room after that, easy. I did try getting the strawberry, but ended up failing because it was physically impossible. But I still didn't even need a single jump to beat the room. This room was not very interesting. I used 1 jump here to get to this ledge and 1 jump here to get the distance needed to grab the wall. Just kidding, I lied. This room was insane because up to this point, I had not done a maneuver so strategic, we'll say, as this. Check this out.
Oh! Dude! I wasn't sure if that'd be possible. Okay, that's so, oh my gosh, that's so freaking sick.
That has got to be the most clutch hiccup so far. Just getting to this point up here took not 1, not 2, but 3 jumps. So I had to lock in if I didn't want to let my whole bloodline down.
Oh, holy crap. Took so freaking long.
Then this next room was another how few jumps can I get it in. And this was the route I ended up taking.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, I did it. Okay. That's literally the best I can do on that, so I'm not even gonna complain.
But now, the room that took me by far the longest to figure out. Because you see, from here to here is how much footage I had just on this level alone, which was a whopping 30 minutes. I'm not even joking. If that doesn't show my commitment to this challenge, I don't know what would. But I will stop yapping now and show you just how I managed to do it. My first goal was to get to this secret checkpoint here, but in order to do that, I would need to somehow get up here while only using 1 jump. At first, I had some close attempts by jumping, then using my hiccup to grab the ice block, but the block would fall before I could get above it. So I tried this seemingly impossible move again, which I did manage to do, but it still didn't work since the ice just seemed to fall too quickly. I was so close though, and did not want to waste another jump, so I came up with a plan. I figured out that instead of jumping then hiccuping, I would hiccup then jump, which doing this would give Madeline enough time to hiccup again, giving me the reach needed to grab this wall.
Oh! Oh my gosh. Oh wow.
But that was only the beginning. So I grabbed on this ledge, hiccuped harder than I've ever hiccuped before, barely managing to grab this wall. So now all I need to do is get over here without falling, or else I will have to do all of that over again.
Yes. Checkpoint.
Sadly though, this was only a checkpoint. So without me explaining how I did this, just watch. This crap took so long. Well, watching that back, that looks so unimpressive and not difficult at all, I'm not gonna lie. But I promise, it was actually so hard. I swear if I added that stupid boom sound effect, I'm gonna do it, aren't I? Oh my gosh. Just don't do it again, please. That's literally all I ask.
Let's freaking go! Oh my gosh! That took so long. That actually took so incredibly long.
But now we are on to the final room. And unfortunately, my throat is starting to feel sore because I've been doing this annoying freaking YouTuber voice for the last few hours. So I'm just gonna stop talking and let you watch the final room. I swear this was the best possible way of doing it, by the way. I wouldn't lie to you, I swear.
Yes! Yes, okay, 2 jumps. Yes! Now I just have to, if I don't time this, literally the last jump. I've had so much practice to time these perfectly consistent hiccups, which means the chance of me failing is near 0. Oh! What did I say, bro? Woo! Oh, that took so long. Oh, me too, brother. Me too. Oh!
I really hope you enjoyed this video because it took me so long to make. If you did though, I would very much appreciate a comment saying so, because while likes and subs are cool and all, I like most of all being able to talk to people about something I created. But of course, this isn't over, because if this video gets enough feedback, I would love to make a series going through every single chapter with this challenge in mind. But finally, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you are all sticking to those New Year's resolutions. You got this, bro. Don't give up. Don't do it. Don't give up!